All right, welcome back in another episode of Indiebnb. Today I'm joined by Reed Waddle from Atlanta, Georgia. Reed,
What's
how we
up?
feeling? The kids are in
Uh,
bed.
the kids are in bed. I'm feeling like a new man for the next hour or two at least. So happy to be
I
here.
love
Happy to be talking to you, an adult.
it. Of course,
Yeah.
of course. Well, I obviously just didn't discover you. I had the privilege of seeing you open for Jed Harrelson back on March 20th of this year, and
Yeah,
was super
that was
excited.
a great night. Yeah, it was a really cool gig. Jed's a really great guy. Um, I met him in Nashville probably 2021, something like that. I used to work in Nashville a lot. I had a publishing deal there, and they have writers' nights there a lot, all over town. And I was playing, and I remember him. He came up to me. Jed is like, you remember him. He's got a look. He's got a fro
Yeah,
and like an earring, and you're like, who's this guy? And he gave me his card, and he's like, man, I really love what you do. And I didn't think I'd ever hear from him again. And then last May, he asked me to open for him at Eddie's,
hmm
which is kind of what got me playing there regularly. So thank you, Jed. And that was a sold out show. And like, I didn't know, I knew I'd seen him play it around before. But I didn't know much about his band, and I didn't know that he has a pretty awesome following. And it's been really cool to watch him grow. Like, he's really out there working it. He works really hard, and he's like the nicest guy in the world. So I'm really happy for him. And, you know,
yeah.
happy to
We
be on the
were.
bill many times. So
I love it. I love it. Yeah, we're still working on some dates, getting him on here.
yeah,
I tried to do it that date, and then it just didn't work out for
sure,
him,
sure.
logistically. And hey, we're gonna keep trying, keep getting him
Yeah,
on.
he'll
But
get on there. He's
yeah,
he likes getting the word out. So
yeah, yeah, he's
yeah,
great. Well, again, you've got some music out. Lonesome Dove came out so far this year, and so want to kind of as we get into your process and all of the things you have going on. I mean, like I want to hear from you, like as as somebody who's seen you before, are you usually just the single singer songwriter outfit, or is
what I've
there some shows you do something different?
it's what I've done primarily throughout my career.
Hmm
I started I've had bands, and I had a band when I was much younger, and it just became so much to manage. And I always played. I
hmm
grew up in Florida, so like playing on patios and like in restaurants was just like that's what I did when I was 19, all throughout college. And it just never. I was like, hey, I could do this all day. In fact, I remember my first when I was in a band when I was like 16, and I mean we sucked. But we for somehow we won some local battle of the bands thing, and that got us other gigs around town. And I remember the reason why I was even in the band is because the two guys who started it would always get in fights, and one person would quit. And like, I didn't even know. I mean, I loved music, and I knew I wanted to do music, but like, I didn't think of myself as a singer. And I learned some harmonies on the song and sang harmonies, and people were, hey, you sound pretty good. And it kind of got me started, like saying, hey, I could do this. And I remember our second gig was at a thing called the Spring Fling, which sounds as awesome as it sounds. It was like all our high school friends, and like we're playing, and in the middle of the song, like the lead singer just like has a temper tantrum and throws his guitar down and walks off the stage. And I'm like, well, I know some Bob Dylan songs, and I just like started playing by myself, and I was like, I think this is my lane. I didn't think it would stay that way, but it's always been kind of where I'm the most comfortable because I've just done it for so long. But like, if the occasion calls for it, I mean, I love playing with other people too. It's just becomes a little more complicated these days. I play with my buddy Nate, who produces a lot of my stuff. He's lived, uh, he lives in Portland, Oregon now, but I met him when I lived in New York years ago, and we've kind of stayed musical partners, buddies. He's like one of my best friends, and like he came. I played at Eddie's Attic here in Atlanta, geez, in February, and he came down for that, and like stuff like that. There's a few people that I'm like, oh, any chance I can, let's do it. So, but the solo
I love
thing has been that's been my spot.
And it's perfect. Kind of, I can, picture your sound inside Eddie's. Again, as we are a local podcast in Atlanta,
Sure.
like I love to give some love to the venues, and Eddie's is one of those perfect listening rooms. Like, when you played there, for Jed, and then as you've played, subsequent times after, like, what's that room like, as an
It's a
artist
magical
and.
place. I had played there before. I'd done the open mic thing and won it a couple
Hmm.
years ago. And it's I think it's there are other rooms like that in the southeast, but it's kind of the one that people
Hmm.
Eddie's had it because it's famous, like where John Mayer got discovered and a whole bunch of other people too that have come through there. And it just there's something magical about. I don't know if it's because it's upstairs. Like if you think about it, like it's kind of a weird little setup. It's like next to a bank, but it's like it feels like you're in somewhere when it's like a magical night. It feels like a sacred space, and like a lot of venues don't necessarily feel that way. You feel like you're in a venue, which sounds cool, but like Eddie's is so small and intimate that it creates something that is there. It's harder to find places like that in the southeast or in the country. They're around, but I think Eddie's is like one of a handful that you could say in America that people, at least that tour, are aware of and want to play at
Hmm.
because it's an environment that is suited for someone to be listened to. Like you don't have a
Yeah.
choice. Like they'll kick your ass out, which
Yeah,
is
I
like
love that.
that's definitely rare.
Yeah. The
So
disclaimer at the beginning, it's like, hey, this is
yeah,
a
like
listening room. This is not
yeah,
like your
like
typical thing.
shut up.
So
Yeah, this
shut
is not
up.
a. There's a bar, but like that's not what this is. If you want to go talk
Hmm.
outside. Like,
Yep.
which I
Yeah.
mean that was rare 20 years ago. Like
Hmm.
and it's really cool that they've kept it. Like I think they've had some changeovers and like they've had to fight to keep that place what it is, and it's really a treasure that I hope
Yeah.
stays there for a long time. So
Yeah. I love it. It's such an Atlanta staple, and
it is. It
the
really is.
Decatur, that Decatur community supports it well, and I'm glad to I'm always glad to see a show there. It's a MARTA ride for
I
me
know that's
now.
another beautiful
Yeah.
thing. The MARTA access is
Hmm.
like boom. I mean, you
Yeah.
can get there if you need to. I have friends who
Yeah,
are
for
like, "You
sure.
played Eddie's Attic. What does it feel like?" And at the end, I mean, it's a gig at the end of the day, but it does
Yeah.
have that like mystique to it. It's like, wow, that's a big deal because it is a big deal. It's a cool
Yeah.
room, like
Yeah.
so.
Walking through, I did an interview with somebody. Oh my god, they're gonna kill me. Their name escapes me. I did an interview in the green room there, which is like
Hmm.
a
Oh
like a
yeah,
closet.
like the size of
It's
like
a
this desk over here. Yeah,
yeah,
it
it's so
really is like the
small, but
most. It's funny to the few times I've played there, like when you're like, oh, here's your green room, and then you're like, you're not really because there's all these people outside or whatever too. So like you're
yeah.
not really you don't feel like you
Hmm.
can warm up or whatever. You kind of just have to. Like
Yeah.
which is kind of what adds to the whole vibe of it, like you're with everybody else.
Yeah, and you're hucking it through the crowd to get to the stage, which
Totally.
I think is the
It's like,
best.
oh, they don't even know. Like I could it's just very funny. But that's
Yeah,
part of
I
the
love it.
experience. Yeah.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
really
Well,
interesting when they do. I don't know if you've ever been there for their like they have the open mic shootout. They like do you know are you
I have
familiar with
not.
that?
I
So
have not. No.
what they did and what kind of started making Eddie's Attic famous, besides being a great room, is they do this. They used to do it every Monday, and it was an open mic thing where you come and play, and then they pick a winner, and then twice a year they do a open mic shootout where all the people who won compete like in a tournament style, which is as weird as it sounds. Like you're competing musically, which is already, but there's nowhere for people to go. So like you're just
Hmm.
like there's all this nervous energy with all these other songwriters who's maybe they know each other, and most of the time they don't because it's like, and you're just kind of like, hey, like this is a little awkward,
What are you gonna
because
play?
yeah, it's like I don't know, man. Like I don't know. Like, am I going against you? I don't know. So it's just, but that's part of the experience too. Like if you win it, it's like the people that usually win are that are the least worried about if they win. Because if
Yeah.
you're in there and people are like, oh, I'm like, you're done. Like
Yeah.
it's important, but it's not that important. You can't look at it that way. So
it's
But
such an interesting concept to compete in music. It's like such a way of
it is,
self-expression that
man.
it's like, I don't know, like, how do you determine if something's good? I mean, some people you can determine,
It's
like, if I went up
that's
there, it'd be like, that guy's bad. But like, if, you have people who've won, like, they all obviously are
well,
there for a
that's the
reason.
thing. You hit it on the head. Is like if you don't win, it doesn't mean you're not good. Like especially
Yeah.
if you've like you can't let that. You can't let if you win one of those things. I've done a bunch of things like that, and I've won things, and I've not won things. Like I just did one last weekend in Dallas. It's called the Wildflower Music and Arts Festival, and they pick 10 people. You apply, and like I got second, which is great. Like
Yeah.
I'm happy about it. Like, but I went into it because I've done this before. If you have your expectations that you're going to win, even if you win, you're not going to be totally satisfied because then what? It's not going to change your life if you win. It's not going to change your life if you lose. It might
Yeah.
be like a nice little thing to like put on your Instagram page or like it's important. It's cool. It's an honor, but like you can't go there to win because you miss out on the whole experience. That's kind of what I'm getting at. Because the open mic thing, like what's cool about it is you meet people you don't know, and if you're so like I gotta win, you're even if you win, you're not gonna have a good time. Like
Yeah.
so, yeah, it is, and it is weird because music is subjective. Like we could listen to a song and have totally different opinions on it. It doesn't mean that we know if it's just it's kind of wild. So, but
Yeah.
it is an interesting thing to go to if you ever
Yeah.
find yourself
Well,
invited.
yeah, I need to get into the open mic shootout.
Yeah,
Need to
man.
get in the ones. Do they do the ones that are like the tournament of champions? Like is that during like a weekend or is it a what
Yeah, I
slot do they
think they
usually get?
usually do it like around like maybe this is the weekend they do it or last week, like around Memorial Day and around Thanksgiving. So it's like
Got it.
every six
Okay.
months. But that they kind of like it went away during COVID and they brought it back. And then the guy who hosts it, who's like he's awesome. His name's Matt Arnett. He's like a you should have him on the podcast. He runs a thing called Grocery on Home, which is like it's basically his house. He bought this. He has a house in Grant Park that used to be like an old grocery store, not like Publix, like old school, like 1900s. Like it's a brick building, small.
Yeah.
And the bottom of it, he turned into a music venue that can fit like I don't know, 50, 100 people maybe, and he lives above
Hmm.
it. And he like the reason he does it is he's super like involved in the music scene and Eddie's Attic and what a lot of places, but he's kind of kept up with all these people. And whenever they come through on tour, he says, "Hey, I have." He'll just go on social media and be like, "Hey, I have a grocery show on Friday. Tickets are 30, but you don't know who it is, and you show up, and it's usually
Yeah.
like Tyler Childress or somebody like like somebody that's doing it. I mean, not him anymore, but like that's the way like he used to come
Yeah.
through, and like he's a really fascinating guy. You should
All
check him
right. Well,
out.
I mean, we'll have to get some we'll get on getting connected with him for sure after this.
Yeah,
That sounds super
he
interesting.
knows
But
lots of people, lots of stories.
I love it. I love it. Well,
But
let's
anyway,
talk through this.
sorry, he was the host of the open mic. That's where I was going with that, and
Yeah.
now he's not doing it anymore. So who knows what it is?
Gotcha.
Sorry,
Gotcha.
wrap that
Well,
up.
yeah, I do want to jump into, some of your tunes, right? Some of the things that you're
Sure.
probably playing in these contests, like Lonesome Dove. Is that
Yeah,
one that you played, like,
yeah, that
at the
just came
Dallas
out.
one?
This just came out last weekend. I put it out like for that competition because I wrote that song last fall. Um, it just kind of came out, and I thought it was pretty good. And I played it at this music festival in Texas, outside of Austin, called the Dripping Springs Songwriters Festival, because they were offered a free video. They're like, hey, they have the people that booked me. Actually, I had done something for them previously, and they liked me a lot, and they got me into this festival. And they're the video company called Pilot Moon. Really cool guys, do
Hmm.
really good work. Um, so I got to do one song, and I literally just written it. In fact, I just posted about this today, like because I'm trying to post as much as I can about the new song. But like, what got me to record this song is I got this video back of Lonesome Dove, and I was like, you know what? I don't have a video that looks this good. Like, let's just put it. I hadn't recorded it. I wasn't sure if I was going to. I knew I liked it because it was new. But I feel that way about like
Hmm.
every song I write. I'm like, it's new. It's the best one. It's like that's not always true, over time. But like I knew this one had like the way I look at how I gauge my songs, like when I play an original gig, like there's like the staples, and there's a couple of songs I'll probably play for the rest of my life, no matter like if it's a
Hmm.
big gig or not. And like I feel like Lonesome Dove is in that list now, which I put the video out and a bunch of people responded to it like emotionally, like because it's a song about if you've had a rough time with love or the right one hasn't come along or whatever, that it doesn't mean they won't, like you just to not give up on like you're not always going to be alone. Like it may feel like you are right now, but like that's the whole sentiment of the song. And like a lot of people like said this song speaks to me. And then I played it at one of my Eddie's gigs, and it's really, I mean, it's about Lonesome Dove is, it's about a person, but it's kind of about a girl. Like, Lonesome Dove, like, don't give up on love. You won't be lonesome for too long, right? Like you see a beautiful girl like upset, you're like, what do you have to be upset about? Like you're gonna be okay. But like uh guys have heard it and be like, maybe I guess they were going through the similar situation where they, had rough relationships and um told me that it spoke to them too. And I was like, well, I think I need to record it. So I recorded it, most of it here in this little room. I have a little studio. And my buddy Nate that I mentioned previously, he lives in Portland. We became friends when I lived in New York a long time ago, and we've been working on music together for a long time. And we just kind of the last three or four singles I've done, we've kind of done it this way. I've sent him something, and he's added drums and guitar, and I'll do the vocals. I mean, like 10 years ago, if you told me I was going to be doing that, I didn't think I would have the skills or the technology to do it. And now, like, skills is a loose term, but like, I can do it. Like I got the whole rig. Just like you. Like,
Yeah.
so it's cool. It's like you can be an independent artist now. Like you have all the tools at your fingertips, um, and whether you choose to use them or not that's on you. And
Yeah.
I would say that to myself like for years. I was like, well, I'm not an engineer. I don't need to. That's not what I do. I'm a songwriter, blah, blah, blah. And then I ended up started doing vocal work for like other artists and got hired by this company to sing other songs. And it made me learn how to record myself. And it's like, I'm so grateful for it because now I can, if I want to do a song, I mean, I would love to go in a proper recording studio, make a record. I'm sure that'll happen one day. But like,
Hmm.
I can work everything out here, which is great. So sorry, that's where I'm at.
No, no.
Um,
I mean, I think that's a good
it's kind of
insight
part
into
of the
kind of
story,
how it
It's
comes
like
through. Yeah.
now, like I'm making the songs, like everything is made in house. Like
Yeah.
it's pretty cool that that's even possible. Um, so
Hey, well, I mean, I think like the time you have now, like to, you probably have refined yourself so much as a songwriter to the point now where it's like, hey, like you probably feel good about putting things out that you have, you've recorded and you've refined your skill there, but now you've got the ability to actually put it out on your own instead of having to go depend on 15 different people and sit on it
yeah,
for
it's
6 or 7 months at a time, like,
and there's challenges with either method. Like when you're doing it all by yourself, you got to do everything yourself. Like it's on you. You can't blame the producer if it doesn't sound good.
yeah.
That's you're the like you got
You're,
to learn. Like God bless YouTube. Like you got to figure it out.
yeah.
And which is good though. I think as an artist, you need to be as deeply as involved with every step of the process as you can because it's got your name on it. Like
Hmm.
and it's. I look at. I guess I'm looking back at myself as a kid who didn't think that way, and now it's like that's
Hmm.
just not smart. So
Yeah.
it's a
Very
lot more
cool.
work, but it's a lot more rewarding too.
Yeah.
So
So you put it out, Lonesome Dove, obviously, last week.
yeah,
As you've gotten to, I guess like I've always asked this kind of in an interesting way, but like, how do you define like a success, not just of like a song, but maybe
That's a
like
good question.
overall in the career on something like that?
I think for me personally, I mean, obviously you want people to listen to it, right?
Hmm.
Like, but I don't think like there's songs that have had more success in the streaming thing. I mean, my version of success that I don't necessarily want to play. Does that make any sense? Like,
Yeah.
not many, but like, I think success for me personally is what I said earlier. If it's on the list, if I have a big gig that I can
Hmm.
only play like 5 songs, like if you can make it anywhere near that, like that's kind of like in the recorded version, you're like, I feel good about this. Because like
Hmm.
for me, maybe it's ADD, maybe it's just the artist. I'm never satisfied. I always think like the next song is that's what I'm into, and then you put
Yeah.
it out and you kind of leave it alone, and it's yours. But if you're lucky, it becomes something else. It becomes everybody else's. You know, that's kind of
Hmm.
what you want. You know, like people to say, "Oh, I love this song because da da da." I'm like, well, that's not what it's about. But like, it doesn't matter anymore. You know, like
Yeah.
it's the public's. So like that that's the ultimate goal. You know, is
Hmm.
have as many people hear it as possible. But like for the time going, it's kind of like, and I don't put out that much music. I'd like to put out more, you know, but just getting it done and getting it right, it takes time, you know. So like
Yeah.
I'm still kind of like catching my breath before the next one. I think I know what I'm gonna do, but I'm also always writing new stuff, and that's kind of what happened with Lonesome Dove. I was gonna do this other song, and that one just kind of came out, and the universe kind of was like, nah, dude, you should do this one. So I'm kind of
Yeah.
waiting for that next like nudge, like, nah, you should sweat this one out and see how it feels. So
Very cool. Very cool. Well,
yeah.
as you know, what are the five? You've mentioned this list a couple times. Now, if you can, what are the five? If I give you five on it, what are your gig? You
um,
know.
I would probably say there's a song called "Bells of Brooklyn" that I pretty much, if I was going to play a song for someone that had never heard me before, I'd probably play that one. That or "Piece
Okay.
by Piece." It's like those are the two that I rotate that'll probably always be on the set list. Another song that's just a little bit newer that I actually wrote for somebody else is called "Grateful." I put out a live version of that at Eddie's Attic, actually. That's kind of like a
Yeah.
closer, like prayer kind of song. Hmm, that's a it's a good question. Uh, there's a song because my dad really loves it, Velveteen Skies. I probably would play that. That's like his favorite one. And right now, Higher. There's a song called Higher that I don't have out, but I recorded it. It's actually how me and my buddy Nate, my producer and friend, our first song we worked on together, and it became like it got like it didn't blow up on SoundCloud, but people like passed it around, and like all my friends know that
Hmm.
song, and it never got put out on Spotify because it was like 2012, like 2013. It just never. We tried to re-record it, and it never had the magic in it. But every time I play it, people are like, "That's a hit." It's probably the most commercial song I have, and like I played it at my wedding. You know, like it's like a party song. So yeah,
Okay.
Higher would definitely be five. So
Love it.
no one's
Love
ever
it.
asked me that. Like, I've never actually. I think I'm like, oh, I know what they would be, but then it's like, ooh. It also depends on the crowd. Like, it depends on the
Yeah.
night. Like, if you're opening for somebody, you can kind of tell your own story. But like, if it's your gig, like, be prepared for like a twist and a turn. I usually
Yeah.
am at least. So,
Yeah.
but
I always am fascinated when I talk to singer songwriters. A lot of them that I've had on, like, the explanation between the songs, right? And
mm-hmm.
sometimes, longer, sometimes shorter. For you, like, are you practicing that in the mirror? Is that something that's just kind of off the cuff, as you go and you're like, yeah, I'll tell the story on this one, or nah, I won't, or, what does
That's a
that look
great
like?
question too, because like I've worked on that. I'm still like, I think I sound so dumb when I'm talking. Like right now, I think I sound dumb. I probably do, but like,
Yeah.
like, it's you feel. I think a lot of at least a lot of songwriters I know, me in particular, kind of relate. to what like a stand-up comic would have to go through, because it is your act. Like you want a lot of the songs do have stories and some of them don't. But and
Hmm.
sometimes you don't need to tell a story. Like it's good to have a story about a song, but you don't have to tell a story about every song. That's what makes, I think, being a stand-up comedian is the hardest thing. You're up
Yeah.
there by yourself. There's nothing to hide behind except your humor. Like, bravo. I mean,
Yeah.
music, you can tap into things without even meaning to. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
um, but yeah, it is a constant, like, something you're always tweaking. I should work on it more. I really like, I think I've been saying this like the last couple of weeks, mainly because I've been like into comedy. Not that I'm a comedian by any means, but like I do want to like woodshed my material, like an act a little bit more. Like
Yeah.
I already have like, just by doing it so much, I kind of know what I'm gonna say, or like a ballpark, and sometimes I'll expand it, sometimes I'll keep it short. But like to have like write out an actual thing and rehearse that would be, I could see myself doing that in the future,
Yeah.
hopefully. So once my kids are older, they're in school.
Yeah, yeah. The I think like that whole part of the they also it's also probably a reading on the crowd, right? It's like, hey, like
Oh
you
yeah,
want to your opening versus it's your show. I feel like there's definitely some definite things there, and you're again, I think you're comparing it to comedy is the same thing that I've heard from a few different folks of like that
yeah. It's,
is
you got to
like
hone on it for sure, and
yeah,
sometimes you just doing it over and over again without even, you're not thinking, oh, this is my act, but it is. You're telling your
yeah.
story, and you can tell it like loosey goosey, or you can tell it like you can blow people away. Like it's there's ways to do it. I've seen it done, you know.
Yeah.
But
So that's interesting. Well, as we transition here, we'll get into something that's kind of like stand up comedy, but
yeah,
you're just going to be answering some questions, that
yeah,
this or that, mainly food based.
I'm excited about this.
But
So
we'll rip into it here. Pete Peterson's party pack of questions, 20 questions ish questions right in a row. Here we go. Reed Waddle, cake or pie?
cake,
He's caking it up. All right.
yeah,
Salad or soup?
salad.
Salad. All right. Sunrise or sunset? What are you seeing more of these days?
Sunrise these days, which I
Yeah.
never would have guessed. Never would. Kids, man.
Kids
I
are
was
good.
seeing sunrises because I'd still be up, but now it's
Yeah.
sunrise for sure.
I love it. All right. Would you rather hit a home run or score a touchdown?
Oh, that's a good one. Score a touchdown probably. Although I would rather strike somebody out. I'll tell you that.
Strikeout.
So
Okay.
yeah,
All right.
I think that is a
Well,
baller
defense.
move. Strike out.
Yeah.
You can't hit me. I like that feeling.
I love that. All right. Night in or night out? What are you having more of these days?
Night in,
Night in.
kids.
All right. When you do go out and your jam comes on, you're more likely to hit the robot or the worm on the dance floor.
Ooh, probably a robot-ish dance. Worm is beyond my ability, especially these days.
Gotcha. All right. At your
My
favorite
jams are all pretty
Tex-Mex spot.
slow too. So, but
You're
that'll
all
be an
slow jams.
interesting
Yeah.
worm, you know.
The slow worm. Not many can do
Worm to
it.
Bon Iver would just freak people out, dude. You know.
Oh, skinny love.
Yeah. They're like, this
Can't do it.
guy's really feeling the falsetto.
Yeah. All right. Guac or queso, your favorite Tex-Mex spot?
My heart says queso, but my gut says guac.
Guac.
That makes
All right.
sense.
Yeah.
Like
I hear you.
queso, I want queso, but it fucks me up, man.
Yeah.
It just makes my stomach hurt too much. So guac, I
It's
guess
not worth it.
guac
It's
now.
not worth it. It's not worth the feeling after.
Not like it used to be. I gotta take it easy on the queso.
Yeah. All right. Waffles or pancakes?
Probably pancakes. That's a tough one. Either one is
Yeah.
I'm good with, but I guess pancakes.
Okay. All right. Coffee or tea with your pancakes?
Coffee all day long.
Coffee. All right. Dogs or cats?
Dogs all day long.
All right. You're like more like a ninja or a pirate. What do you identify more with?
Probably a pirate because I grew up by the ocean, and I'm not.
Okay.
I'm pretty clumsy. Ninja. I would love to be a ninja. I just, if anybody who knew me, I told them I was a ninja, they would die laughing because I'd be the worst ninja of all time. So I guess
Not
fire.
sneaky. Reed
Yeah,
Waddle, not sneaky. All
not
right.
sneaky, man. I'm not trying to fool anybody over here.
I love it. All right. Chips or pretzels?
Chips.
Chips all day. All right.
Yeah,
Fries or tots?
probably fries. I'm good with either
All
of
right.
that fries. Yeah.
All right. After a long day, you're more likely to flip on a TV show or a movie.
Lately, TV show. A
Okay.
good show. Movies are too long. Like I can't hang anymore, even with TV.
Yeah.
You know. But we watched the movie last night, actually. So, but anything on to turn the mind off
I love
for
it.
sure.
All right.
It's required.
All right. Are aliens real?
They have to be.
Yeah.
There's just too much. Yeah, I'm gonna say yes. Sure.
Okay. All right. If you were a fruit, what kind of fruit would you be?
um, be an apple.
Apple.
Yeah.
All
Never
around.
let you
All
down.
American.
Never let you down. You know. You
Love it.
know what you're getting with an apple most of the time, and like it's usually pretty damn good, especially when
Yeah.
it's cold.
Yeah. A
Apple.
cold apple. All
Yeah,
right.
cold apple. That's me.
All right. I love it. All right. Is love at first sight real?
Yes, I believe
Love it.
so.
All right. And give us two bands that we ought to check out that we might not know,
Ooh.
or artists, or
There's
yeah,
a band that you probably maybe you know. They're called Parcels from Australia. They're
I will
rad.
be at their show in
Yeah.
October. They're
Oh,
coming
nice.
here.
I want to go to that too. That would be great. My wife saw them, and I saw them like they played at some festival here like in 2018, and I was like, they had long hair and they were like headbanging. I was like, now they don't, but I was
Yeah.
like, this is awesome, and I've been listening to them ever since. And let's see, another band or artist that you don't know about. Trying to think of somebody cool, but there's a guy. I mean, he's pretty popular. Ben Howard. I like him a lot.
Ben Howard.
Yeah, he's good. British guy.
All right. Very
Yeah,
cool.
good
We got a little
questions.
Parcels action, a little Ben
Yeah.
Howard. All right. Well, you've
Yeah.
conquered it. The Pete Peterson party pack of questions.
All right.
Reed Waddle. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for
Everyone,
having me. Really
yeah.
fun. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Really want to make sure everyone goes check out Lonesome Dove on Spotify and all streamings. Yeah, be on the lookout for some tour dates getting announced, maybe sometime in the fall here.
Yeah.
And everyone go check out Eddie's and
Yeah. I'll
support
be
your
around
local
town.
venues.
You can find me if you need me.
I love it. I love
All
it.
right.
Well, we appreciate you taking the time, brother.
Appreciate you, Grant. It was a lot of fun.
Awesome.